Welcome to Redacted, a show about, video games and gaming-related things. My name is Sean. This week we have EJ,
Hi.
Chris,
Yellow.
and Tim.
Yo, yo, yo.
All right. Tim's going to read the upcoming week's releases.
Brace yourselves.
Maybe this time it'll come out.
Yeah, what week is this for? This is for
the week of February the 3rd.
Okay.
We got Apotheon on PS4. SpongeBob Hero Pants for the 360 Vita 3DS.
Score.
Game of the year.
Criminal Girls Invite Only for the Vita.
No, that's Game of the year.
This is Game of the Year. Dolphin Up for the Wii U.
I like Dolphin Down.
Puzzle Monkeys.
That's a yoga move, right?
Yes.
Puzzle Monkeys for the Wii U.
Racist.
Tri-Strip for the Wii U. Moon Chronicles.
Is that wait, Tri-Strip, is that a adult-only game?
It's on the Wii U, so no.
Or maybe.
Moon Chronicles episodes 2, 3, and 4 on the 3DS. Kami on the 3DS, and that's it for console games. Now onto the PC games.
Buckle up.
Ready your buttholes. We got
Never.
Apotheon, Darkest Dungeon, Pizzarian, Astray, Rise of Incarnates, Grow Home, Ephemerid, A Musical Adventure, Stay Dead Evolution, Ephemerid, Fractured Soul, Cities XXL, Castle in the Darkness. How do you pronounce this? Ubinota? I don't know. Ubinota.
Sure.
Crystal Story 2, Terratech, Pixel Heroes Bite and Pixel Heroes Bite and Magic.
What?
BYTE.
BYTE. Yeah.
Get out.
The game needs to get
He's reading. He's reading.
Loop Reloaded, Stroudsoft's Synthetic World, and Samudai. I don't know.
And Evolve, right? Is that
No, that's
That's
next week.
That's next week.
It's the 10th. Evolve is the 10th.
Oh, you know what? I still have to go put in a pre-order for The Order 1886. That's coming out this month.
Yeah, it is.
That also looks pretty good.
That looks fantastic.
That looks awesome.
That's good.
See, that and Bloodborne, I'm both excited for, and I'm worried.
I'm really excited for Bloodborne because it looks like it's going to be the next kind of Dragon's Dogma and Dark Souls.
They're making Dragon's Dogma online.
Is it going to be more Dark Souls
really?
than more Dark Souls than like a Ninja Gaiden type? Because I just want it to be less of a button slapper. Like I'm not saying that those were. I'm just saying most of the games that come out like this end up being kind of like bad combo type games. Whereas like God of War was able to transcend that because of all the other stuff they did, even though it was basically a button slapper.
I think it's going to be more like Dark Souls.
Because Dark Souls is a different. Dark Souls works differently, where you don't need that many combos because it's really hard, and it's just a different style. If it works that way, actually, I think it'll be very successful.
And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm really hoping for like that Dark Souls style of a RPG.
I'd be down for that. I have to go back and play those games.
So hard.
I haven't played either one yet. Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2.
I started on the first one.
I kind of want to do that, but it's kind of the same way as that. I kind of want to do that, and I kind of want to get beaten in a dungeon. It's just...
you get destroyed in that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really just like masochistic tendencies.
It's one of the only games where I got to the boss and I literally paused it and went to look up how to beat the boss on YouTube, so I wouldn't die and have to go to the very beginning, because it was that hard. And that was Demon Souls the first one.
Demon Souls was the first one, and then Dark Souls was the spiritual. Is the spiritual?
And then there's Dark Souls 2.
And Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, I have Demon Souls and Dark Souls, but
Demon Souls was the impossible one.
Yeah, that was the one I had, and that thing just makes you cry.
Well, you were saying Dragon's Dogma Online. What?
I'm looking for it.
He's looking for it.
Yeah.
Because I love Dragon's Dogma. It's so good.
I didn't play that, but it looked good.
I should probably point out for anyone who's watching or listening to this that we're coming back off of basically a 2-week hiatus due to technical problems and personal issues.
Snow or something. No, just say snow.
Snow. Snee.
Snoo.
Yeah.
Snoo.
Some John Snee. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma was fantastic.
Yeah,
Is that Xbox 360 only?
No, it was PlayStation only.
Capcom will be releasing a new
Why didn't I
online
play that
open
shit?
world action RPG this year based on its 2012 release Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, good. Because it didn't really gain a whole lot of like media traction. Because it was contending with Skyrim,
Right.
and Darksiders and all that.
Darksiders was fun. Did they ever come out the PC version?
For what? Darksiders?
For Dragon?
No, it's console only.
I could
As far as I know, it's console only.
probably pick the old
How
version.
big was the original?
I don't remember. I remember to get from one end of the map to the other, you had to run for about 2 days.
Like real time?
Like
Like
in-game
Morrowind
time.
style?
Okay.
Like Morrowind style. You had
Okay.
you had to
Oh,
run
gosh.
everywhere.
According to the developers, the world of Dragon's Dogma Online will be roughly the same size as the world of Dragon's Dogma, but will be expanded over subsequent updates to roughly 3 times its original size.
Ooh, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big. Yeah. It took to get from one end of the map to the other. It took about 2 days in game.
That sounds pretty cool.
PS3, PS4, and PC platforms in 2015.
Oh, I can't wait.
No
want
word.
Ooh.
I want it.
They gotta stop making things.
No word on an international release, so who knows when we're getting it.
I will get it.
Speaking of dragons, I mean, I know I could talk about Dragon Age Inquisition, but I'm gonna say I really want to see a new Dragon Quest game that's not like their MMOs. So they wouldn't play Dragon Quest.
Not
No.
forever.
What?
Dragon Quest 8 was amazing.
What are they up to? 27? 30?
Well, Dragon Quest 8 was good, and then they made a bunch of
647?
Japanese ones that were kind of crap. And now their next one's like an MMO, and it's like I don't want to play. I want to play an actual good RPG. You know, they've been kind of like stemming away from the normal turn-based from everything, like Final Fantasy. There hasn't been like another one of those types of RPGs in forever that's not a mobile game. You know.
I want a turn-based game again.
Mm-hmm.
I want a legit RPG, not a JRPG.
I want the sequel to Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger. That would make me.
Pokemon. That's
I'm
your
not
turn-based
playing- I'm not
RPG.
playing
Pokemon
turn-based
sorta
RPG.
counts.
It's the best one
But
around
again,
right now.
mobile.
Yeah.
3DS
Oh,
counts as
console.
mobile.
Yeah.
To me.
Right.
handheld counts mobile.
Yeah.
Console.
I mean, I have a 3DS and it's great, but I would
Just play Final Fantasy X again.
No.
PS2 game. Thank you.
Why? So
They
you can-
re-released it.
It was
It's on the
actually-
PS3 and the PS4 now.
Oh, with PlayStation Now.
No, they just re-released.
Uh,
They remastered the remaster and put it out
Oh, I wonder if that's any good.
on the
That was a good. That was probably the last good one.
the PS4.
11 was okay.
The
No,
PS4
what do you
is.
mean 11 was okay?
It was. I said okay. I didn't say it was awesome. I didn't say it gave me jiggles. You know.
The
it was good.
PS4 one is online only.
I enjoyed losing levels when I died.
I didn't finish it. If that says anything.
11 was online, right?
11 was online.
You're thinking of
no,
12.
I'm thinking of 12.
12 was also dumb.
Yeah.
Well, nobody really knew it came out.
That and the license system was terrible.
There's so many issues with the newer games where there's not enough strategy in it. Like the biggest problem with me for 13 is you can just tap X.
I love the paradigm system.
The combat system that was great.
I love the paradigm system,
think it's
except for the fact that you could just set up the paradigm system to do whatever you needed it to do and just hit X and go
That's-
make a sandwich.
That's what I didn't like.
Yeah.
I like that you have you should be doing things and you should pick
If
stuff.
you turn that the autoplay off, you actually have to go in and control the paradigm system yourself, which got really fun.
Well, maybe if I go back and play it, I'll just turn that off. And
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't know why I didn't pay attention to anything, and I was like, this is.
The paradigm system was really fun if you controlled it yourself.
Yeah,
It was
it was fantastic.
boring as balls if you just set it up to autoplay.
I still say that if Square Enix were to release an updated Final Fantasy VII,
No,
it would sell out everything. It would just everyone would buy it.
it would. It would be probably as terrible as Final Fantasy VII originally was.
God damn it, you're one of those.
Not terrible. It was mediocre.
It was a very good game, especially for the time.
It was overhyped.
It was overhyped if you
I
let
think-
it.
How
I
old were you
still
when
think-
it came out? 7?
I don't know.
I think all the
Oh,
love
that
for
was-
it is
Came out in
like,
1997.
just nostalgia.
I played it because I liked the look of Cloud, and this was I got the PlayStation way later than it was out, so I just thought the story was good. I didn't hear anything about it, and it wasn't overhyped for me. I thought the materia system was cool.
I
liked all of it.
maintain all the love for 7 is just nostalgia.
There's plenty of nostalgia going there, but I mean, I never
People
got.
who call it the greatest game of all time need to be shot.
Well, that's silly.
That is silly.
It's a very good game, and I think that people do blow it out of proportion, but it's a very good game. I thought the story was great. And I think that if they...
The story was so mediocre and bland.
It was
and
average.
No, there was a bunch of clones and cool shit. I like that. Don't you me.
People who call Sephiroth a deep villain are dumb.
He's not deep. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played the game, but it was fun.
I've heard so many people just be like, "Oh, he's such a deep and complex." He was like, "No, he wasn't.
No, he was just crazy.
He was crazy with a mommy issues.
Yeah.
For a mother he didn't have.
Yeah. But the music was great. Like a lot of the stuff that really worked for it worked. A lot of the extra stuff you could do. A lot of the side missions and things like that.
Golden saucer.
Get that gold chocobo. The 12.
I still think
the only thing
around.
The only thing I hated was having to sit there
good.
for a week to breed chocobos to get Knights of the Round.
You just needed to get the gold chocobo, right?
Was it the gold or was it the blue?
I think you did the gold so that you could go anywhere, like go to the mountains.
Where you could land it anywhere. You could land it off the ship anywhere.
Whatever.
Because it was just that one tiny island where you had to get Knights of the Round. I mean, you could beat the game without having Knights of the Round, but it was just so...
I'm going to just bring this in, because we're like 5 or 8 minutes talking about this, and we can talk about current stuff.
Oh, so the new Final Fantasy? How about that?
Okay,
it does look good. I think it looks really good.
That looks amazing.
Is there a new one coming out?
Yeah,
yes.
15.
Okay.
It was originally what was 13 verses.
Yeah.
Right? Versus 13.
Versus 13.
It looks gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
The combat system looks fun.
Good. It's it's good. It was for the longest time the guy who directed Kingdom Hearts. I can't remember his name.
Kingdom Hearts, the new one looks good too.
Yeah, but so the combat system is going to be very similar to Kingdom Hearts.
I'm okay.
Which is great because that was fantastic.
I like that.
From the trailers that I've seen, it looks like that hybrid action and turn based style.
Is this going to be this going to be an exclusive?
PS4, Xbox One.
Yeah.
Okay, so not any of the Nintendo systems.
Oh no, Nintendo cannot handle this.
The Wii U,
of course not.
You would need to daisy chain like 10 together.
Square Enix broke away from Nintendo at 7.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Before 7.
Oh, that's right.
Because 7 was PS2.
No, that's right. 7 was PlayStation. Wasn't that exclusive as well?
Well,
Yes.
I said
Not
at 7.
PS2.
They were exclusive for a
I said
while.
at 7.
Okay. Calm down.
We'll stop talking about the old ones because I would want to talk about 9 and 8, but I'm not.
Yeah, on 2 separate shows, we've beaten that horse to death.
Really
so we're just going to avoid that. Well, I mean, if we get deeper into Nintendo, they've got a few things going on the last couple of weeks.
Well,
let's start with the older news and work our way forward. Let's do that. So with the new 3DS.
Which is still the dumbest name for anything ever.
Well, they don't have a naming convention. They just kind of...
What's the next one? The newer 3DS?
It's just called the new 3DS.
No, it's the 3DS, the 3DS-ing.
The newer 3DS,
with the new 3DS, their new
the
newer handheld they're putting out. You first off, they're not selling the unit with a wall charger.
Yeah.
The wall charger is going to be somewhat like $8 or $15 US.
I get the reason.
Now this is something that's been happening. This is something they've been doing in the Asian and European markets for years, apparently.
Yeah, since.
But I think that the concept of thinking of this is.
If you can see my face, please explain.
If you're buying a new one, you've probably already owned an older one, and the proprietary plug is the same as most of the older models. No, there's like
Who's the first one was different?
There's a couple of models that were different.
The DSi was different.
Right, it's the DSi that was different. The first model of DS was different, but that's really about it. The other thing with that was they're selling it separately, but the concept is that if you're buying the new one, you probably already have an older one. You can just reuse the unit. The problem is again here in the U.S. market, if you say traded it into a certain popular retailer, you have to trade in the charger.
Yeah, I don't think Japan has the resale.
No, actually, in fact, there is no real sale market in Japan for America because it's illegal to sell or trade used games.
Really?
You have to buy them new. At least it was a couple of years ago. There was no trade up system.
Nintendo has never applied the logic of the rest of the world to their business decisions internationally. They always apply Japanese. Yeah, they're
online.
What wireless?
They're online.
What online?
They always apply Japanese business practices to the rest of the world, and that just doesn't work.
Right. Well, yeah. Again, we've gone over this a couple times, but their wireless.
This time's gonna get released.
Yeah. Well, no, the issues they've had with their online system, or rather, the lack of a functioning online system. There's one there, but
it's such an insulated.
What's your friend code?
It's such an insulated company. It's absurd.
Yeah.
The way that company is structured is, I don't know how it still functions.
So there was that. There was the fact that they're not selling the new 3DS.
They can stay afloat for years with loss.
Oh yeah,
for a while.
50 years.
For a while, they were printing their own money.
Yeah.
I mean, they were almost literally printing their own money.
And fun fact, originally a playing card
company. Yes. Yeah, in the late 1800s.
Yes, sir.
They date back to, I want to say, I think it was like
1890.
Yeah, 1888, 1890.
I think I saw an article somewhere saying they found an old Nintendo board game from like 1920.
That's hilarious.
Doesn't sell for so much.
Oh, so much money.
You'd be able to buy them. No, but then on top of that, the new 3DS, you can't change the
SD card.
They can't change the SD card without a screwdriver. You need
I have a screwdriver.
And I came up with a solution for this. You take out the stylus they have, throw that away, and keep a small jewelry screwdriver in where the stylus is.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how often do you actually need the stylus? They're practically touchscreens anyway.
Unless you accidentally super drunk pull out the screwdriver and try to use it as a stylus and scratch up your screen, then you're in trouble.
That's a valid concern for some of us.
It might be.
That's when you get the cat for the screwdriver. The little plastic nub.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be genius if they made a stylus that literally was a screwdriver with a cap on the end.
Yeah.
And you pull the cap off.
Or double-sided. Like the screwdriver's one side.
You heard that idea here first.
Oh, actually you didn't? We're going to cut that out and patent this?
Trademark, patent,
TM.
copyright.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't steal it. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Piracy done.
And then there was an article not too long ago about how
the company's structured.
How the company is structured.
Everyone has everyone has veto power.
Well, all the higher ups do. All the high powers.
And you have to, not even that, just even like the middle powers.
But they'll veto something if they don't. You can't explain it well enough that they understand it. Which, to an extent, there's a lot of companies that work that way.
It's just such.
Well, it's not that it's just it's that if any one person doesn't understand it.
Oh yeah, they kill it.
And most of them don't, because all the higher ups in Nintendo are old school Japanese businessmen who don't understand anything.
They still think that the internet's a series of tubes.
Probably.
Wait, it's not?
Well, if you look at their online system, that makes sense then.
I'd have to ask Al Gore. He knows.
Isn't their online system just a set of amiibos?
I think the amiibo system is so silly and dumb, and I don't understand it, but kids are super into it.
Well, they're just banking off the Skylanders thing.
My little brother loves it.
Although
it's ridiculous because literally you're just like, hey, I'm going to level up a computer player to play with me, and I can bring that somewhere else.
Dude, level 50 amiibo in Smash is no joke.
Is it?
Is 50 the top?
Yeah.
I'll still crush one.
No joke.
No joke.
I'm good at
You're talking to a Korean.
Listen, I played a lot of Smash, and I do.
So do we.
So do we.
I've never played
Challenge accepted.
The new Smash. I played
Challenge accepted.
What was it? Some Smash.
What was the one on the GameCube? I played that one for a while.
No.
Do we not have that here?
No.
I still need to get the GameCube adapter. I want to.
The
$90.
The only Nintendo system I own right now is the GameCube I have for one game.
I've got a 3DS somewhere.
No, I take that back. The V has a DS XL.
And I got a Wii somewhere too.
I have a cube with Smash with Melee.
I love
Melee. That's the one I was thinking about. That's the last one I played.
And I played Brawl a lot.
And Brawl was so bad. It was terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It was fun.
It was terrible. The random trip function was awful.
That was annoying.
The how every character felt kind of floaty and soft.
Yep.
Like if Bungie decided to make a fighter game.
Oh boy. I will say that they definitely made Luigi a little bit weak in the new one.
Yeah. The knife hand is not as good.
Well, I used to be like a master with the fire uppercut, and it would you could just kill people with that any time. You know.
That was all about the knife hand.
I would juggle people and then uppercut them and then be done.
But then I was a Falcon player.
No, but they announced the YouTube
partner program.
Program.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So explain what this is exactly and how this works.
Okay, so here's what's going on with the partner program. Before it was YouTube would dole out the profits for an advertised video, and the profit sharing was 40% would go to YouTube, and 60% of it would go to the channel,
the user. Yeah.
The user. Yeah. Except for Nintendo videos. Nintendo videos, 40% of the ad revenue went to YouTube, and 0% went to the content creator. The rest, the other 60% went to Nintendo. This was after after Nintendo allowed for Let's Plays to be aired.
Before they would just take it down.
And the new system is even worse.
If Nintendo even let the content go up.
Yeah.
Because if it was criticizing the game,
you have to submit the video for review to Nintendo before you release it.
And it was the general trend was if you were criticizing the game, it did not get published.
And it's 40,
so it's kind of like
the YouTube.
Now with the new partner program, it's a 70-30 split with Nintendo on the profits. But that 70-30% split is after YouTube takes its cut.
Yeah.
So that 70-30% is on the 60% that the user generates,
and
so that it comes down to about 42% of the actual ad revenue that the user gets.
And there's fine print that says rates can arbitrarily change at any time.
Yeah. If Nintendo even allows the video go up still.
So is that kind of like nuking any negative comment that comes in?
They've turned YouTube Nintendo videos into like a PR wing.
They're in such a stone age. Like
that's weird.
They don't get it.
No, they don't, and it's almost the point where like a lot of times, even if people are going to be negative,
it's still press.
The old statement, any press is good press.
Yeah,
and it's true, and it's one of those things where it's like unless the game's complete and utter dog crap.
What was that other game that did that?
Oh,
there's another game that just
it was some
war.
awful game on Steam. Let me see if I can find it.
The DayZ?
No.
This was
is that the one that actually got taken down? The one that Jim Quisition did.
Yes, it was.
Oh crap! What was that
called? What it was, but they pulled blood effects off of Google Image Search and they just plugged together some shitty
kind of game was it? It wasn't Roster.
It was
awful.
You would never.
It wanted to be a first person shooter when it grew up. Yeah, I can't even call it a first-person shooter.
It looked like a bad
the guy did a video
tearing
it apart in a review, and then the developer released a review of the review, just being snarky and awful towards him, and then he released a review of the review of the review, and that went back and forth for a week.
Yeah.
And then
this almost sounds like stuff that happens with Fez and that guy.
And then at the end...
That's right, that guy's just...
That guy was a huge baby, and he ended up going out of nowhere. Man, people...
And then at the end of the day, the developer just started taking copyright claims.
It comes down to, if you're going to put something out on a public forum, in any way, shape, or form, you're going to have to be able to take criticism.
Especially if you're making good money. I can't even believe that the Flappy Bird guy pulled his game down after he made millions of dollars.
Well, no, if I remember correctly, his argument for that was going to be he was just
getting harassed.
Yeah, he was getting harassed, but it's like, oh, this is becoming an addiction for some people, and I don't want to cause that, so I'm just going to take it.
My phone still has Flappy Bird on it.
I'm sorry. You know what? If I make something that's highly addictive, I'm pimping that out like you wouldn't believe.
What's the guy's name?
I don't remember. That's the thing. I don't remember what his name is.
Asian.
No, the video. The
Flappy Bird.
The video was Jim Quisition.
Okay,
it was probably on the Escapist magazine.
This was a big thing that happened in the last couple of days. There's a huge Smash Brothers Melee tournament, the biggest in history.
I saw that.
Apex 2015. And they were apparently facing cancellations because the venue they had was dilapidated and really messed up.
Really?
And was, falling down. They found a new venue, but the hotel manager apparently has been arrested for negligence and all this stuff because it's just a big mess.
Oh god.
Oh
no.
Biggest tournament ever. Announced from Nintendo. A playable Splatoon demo, whatever. Comparatively large audience for other scene games. A salty sweet. Return of Prague commenting and a weekend of awesome streams.
Is that's starting to get into the I charge X amount of roses?
God, I get that every day on Tinder. And it's like, hey, 75 roses if you want to hang out, and I'm like,
who are you?
You should just get a picture of a badge.
Well, I was like, what if I'm a cop? It's like, unfriend. Or it's like, oh, funny you actually said that because I charge 150 roses. So if you want to hang out with me.
The slaughtering ground.
I charge 85 roses to friend me.
Yes.
Slaughtering ground. That was the one that went back and forth.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's
right.
I
charge 5,000 roses.
Is
to
that
make
still
problems go
on?
Away?
Is slaughtering ground still on the Steam?
Let's find out.
Steam site.
Let's find out.
Because that's the question. Because I just got back to the point where the they didn't even have a defense to how bad the game was. They were just oh well, any negative comment they would nuke.
I'll play the video for you when we're done.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's
ridiculous.
hilarious.
What was that game on Steam that just got the adults only?
Oh yeah, that was like the first one they ever did.
No,
because it went down over the
well, it was Hatred. Yeah, it was
Hatred,
it was unrated.
That's the one where they
taken
want to
down.
let you murder cops and like random strangers.
It's like
on
a
purpose.
serial killer simulator.
It's like really messed up.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we want it to be messed up.
Yeah, but it's an AO rating on a system that's on a platform essentially, because Steam is, for all intents and purposes, it's still their own platform realistically. Yes. I mean, it's PC, but they're their own distribution company and whatnot.
You sent me gifts.
So a PC with Steam OS on?
Oh yeah. Oh, you haven't been on in a while, have you?
No, I haven't.
I haven't tried Steam OS.
But it's one of those things where they originally said straight out, it's like, we're never going to have AO games. And then this came out and they go, okay, it's got an AO. What? I mean, I'm glad that they look at it and their policy is that fluid, that they're like, people want this, and if people want it, okay, then we'll bend and negotiate. I understand that, and that's a good business model. I mean, the fact, but I can understand I can also understand the other side where they don't want to slide into, like Leisure Suit Larry 7.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they were trying to be like.
To
avoid porn games,
which is hilarious because it's the classic American thinking. You can slaughter 18 billion people, yes, but like an exposed nipple, no.
Well, that was the same with all TV in America. It's like Dexter's fine, but the minute there's a boob, oh my god, it's like.
Well, Dexter was HBO, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Showtime. That's an entirely different thing, isn't it?
But it's like, I'm happy with watching him slaughter a bunch of people, but he had sex?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I saw his
My
ass.
kids can't see that.
What? No butt cheeks. No butt. What?
The Slaughtering Ground is still available on Steam for $4.99. No one buy it.
The only reason you're
$5
not to see butt cheeks is if they're
$4.99 is still $8 too much.
There's a certain percentage of butt cheek that you can see.
Yes. If it's a butt cheek or a boob, it needs to be cut off the person because the guy killed him. And then it's okay.
Well, I was over in Spain a bunch of years ago, and like Europe is the exact opposite of American TV.
Oh yeah, like game shows.
They have the watershed.
You have like porn on TV. Almost.
Yeah, like basic cable. I was watching porn at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
sweet.
in Europe, and not Europe, the UK, they have the watershed. So like after 10 o'clock, do whatever the hell you want.
Technically, the United,
like you never saw any sort of violence on TV.
Technically, United States followed that for a while. They had like it was after 10 or 11 and. It was, I think Fox, if I remember correctly, got their start that way, like at 2 in the morning, and be like softcore porn. But we're talking about like the late 70s, and then
somehow 24 positive reviews for this game.
There were that many liars on Steam?
And the people that work for the game.
It's all paid. They were all paid.
Yeah, okay, that's.
I'm reading some.
Yeah, they're probably all paid. They'll do that.
But yeah, the game was literally just stolen assets from other games. And badly cobbled together at that.
Oh yeah.
Some of these I think are trolls because this one says recommended, restored my faith in Muhammad.
Oh no. Yeah, let's try to avoid
this. Masterpiece puts Left 4 Dead 2 to shame.
Yeah. Okay. I
paid.
Okay, I recommend you buy this game to be part of the worst Steam release of all time. I'll allow that one.
That's troll level epic.
Some of them are just stories. Recommended. Summary. 10 years have passed since the fall of Durkadam.
God.
Oh, man.
And the American hero Snake has still not returned to his kingdom in New Jersey.
But yeah, I mean, going back to...
Nintendo?
Well, we can go back to Nintendo.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know anymore.
So, and Nintendo, like, what started this whole thing was Nintendo taking down YouTube stuff. And then we've got Dying Light is filing DCMA claims on...
Everyone?
Modders, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, there are games that have embraced the modding community, and they're still going. Mods in general, whether you like them or hate them, will add so much life to, especially, I mean...
Even Skyrim, which was an amazing game, still gets
There are still mods coming out for, like, San Andreas.
And GTA 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, like, they modded GTA 4 to be GTA 5 before the PC version was announced.
But I think that's, I mean, who produces...
Why would you remove a portion of your fan base?
Yeah.
Like, in the first week of your game.
To give you an idea, GTA 5, when they announced it was coming out on PC, I bought GTA 5 on Green Man Gaming. There were a couple of like incentives of adding the extra in-game money and stuff. That was cool. But I'm buying it for the PC because I'm expecting GTA 5 to have what will eventually be probably a thriving modding community.
And it definitely will.
Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are still getting new mods. We're talking about like a 6-7-year-old games at this point. They're still getting really good, just interesting and awesome mods. If you can actually nurture that community, you're gonna get.
You're also nurturing a development community where you have a pool of talent to pull from. Like where these companies can then pull talent and create more games.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's
a post right here. This latest Skyrim mod makes water look like reality.
Yeah.
These things are cool, and they make you want to keep playing the game.
Yeah.
Even way after you finished it.
If you have enough mods running on Skyrim, you can make it photorealistic. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's crazy. It looks great.
Minecraft photorealistic.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are texture mods that make Minecraft look goddamn beautiful.
The shaders, the shaders.
I'm not a fan of Minecraft personally, but my little brother's into it, and it's cool that he's into it.
I'm honestly thinking about building rebuilding my own private server, Minecraft server. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
Well, it's like my little brother. He's like, hey, can you help me install this mod so I can play like Mario and Minecraft? And I'm like, cool. Yeah, I will help you with it. I mean, it helps him learn, helps him install.
A tip for anybody who's going to buy it on PC: buy the game card for it. Don't try to buy it with your credit card because it's an England-based server that you buy it from. Mm. So if you have a credit card company that will flag your card for
overseas purchases.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me when I tried to buy Minecraft.
I had to be careful. I was running a VPN for security reasons for a little while, and the problem is I was using a virtual IP based out of Canada. So like I went and I did a purchase on something, and it came up Canadian. I'm like, that's weird. And then I got a call from my bank. It's like, hey, no, that was me. I'm using a VPN. That was me.
But which VPN are you running?
I was using Hide My Ass, but I had a couple of not unpleasant experiences with the company. That's just I got an email about they thought I was torrenting certain like porn movies, and not that.
Certain porn movies that are illegal everywhere.
Well, no. Here's the thing. They were porn. Oh. They contacted me about activity that
only most states.
I literally have no like. I'm not going to say. I'm an adult on the internet. I'm not going to say that things like that have never happened. The thing is, the time period and the titles they were saying, I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, that definitely wasn't me.
I don't like
Super
horses.
Gay porn? Not that there's anything wrong with
horses.
No, but it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things where I look at it, I'm like, well, I know absolutely this wasn't me. This wasn't my network. Why are you sending me this? So after that, I was like, if you can't keep your own stuff straight, I'm not going to use you I'm not going to use you as a company. I'll go to another VPN. So I canceled that. And I'm currently looking for another VPN.
I'm using BT Guard.
Is it? How much is that?
For VPN, it's $10.
That's what I was paying. Yeah.
For if you're looking just for some privacy for torrenting and stuff.
Well, it's not even for torrenting or stuff. But like again, if I'm hosting,
bad, don't do it.
If I'm hosting,
you can do real torrents that aren't illegal.
No, there's person-to-person sharing that is completely legitimate. That's fine.
That's how I used to share a lot of large files.
That's the thing. Yeah. Working in the IT field, there are files. There are tools that I use, legitimate tools that the most efficient way for the company to put them out is through a torrent a torrent, which means on my work computer for my day job, I have which one was it? Not it's uTorrent. I have uTorrent installed. My boss knows about it. He's perfectly okay with it because I use it for I work in IT. So certain tools I use. That's the only distribution way they have.
When I was sharing gameplay videos with my friends, Drive was still like kind of in the works, and I don't use Mac, so I don't have the cloud. And any online storage wanted like $50 from me, just to store like a gig file. I'm like, I'm gonna make a torrent of this, throw it up, and then my friends can have it.
Plus, as you know, stuff from the cloud isn't so safe anymore.
Yeah,
you can just ask
we'll get into that onto another show because that just gets into an entirely different thing. Yeah. But the thing with Dying Light, like I said, I think it's dumb for them to snub an entire community, especially someone like you brought up. someone that can.
You're killing a portion of your fan base in the first week.
You're
of
killing a
release.
portion of your fan base,
very large portion.
and on top of that, you're killing a whole community that if they're modding the engine and they're doing it well, they know the engine well, which means that those are programmers, those are people with creative talent and technical knowledge that you could farm from and create a new IP or a new whatever, and maybe have, people that are creating community community positive stuff.
Yeah, like how kind of like how Monty Oum started into the whole video game industry.
Yeah,
he was doing the Dead Fantasy stuff.
He was doing Dead Fantasy, and then he was doing I think this is one of the things that helped get him into where he is now. He did and I still have a video somewhere. He did Halo armor tests. Yeah, they were like armor tests.
Yeah. It was the Halo's Samus.
Haloid.
Yeah, Haloid. That's right.
Yeah. He did that. He did a couple of standalone stuff with his own brew, and then who picked him? Who originally picked him up? EA, I think.
Was it?
Might have been.
I think it was EA that originally picked him up as a dev.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And then he left them to go to Rooster Teeth.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes more sense. I thought he jumped.
He joined RVB season 8.
Was it 8?
During season 8.
Yeah, no, that's right. Because I thought he went directly to Rooster Teeth. I didn't know he was working as a dev for a while.
Yeah, he moved over as a dev and as an animator for, I think it was EA. Correct me if I'm wrong, because the Dead Fantasy series just kind of it stopped because his hard drive exploded, and then he had to get all the source back, and then he was busy with his job.
Namco.
Namco.
So,
well, I mean, I guess we can talk about this because he's still pretty iconic in the gaming industry, one way or another, whether it be machinima or as a working for a developer. We don't know what happened, but he had some sort of medical emergency, and they put up a GoFundMe to raise the $50,000 that the
he was hospitalized last night.
And they had it in less than 3 hours.
Oh yeah, they're up to 142,000.
Yeah, something like 12 or 18 hours later, they're up to 3 times as much.
They said it was he was in critical condition. They weren't sure if he was going to recover. Or not.
That
community is
not that anyone at Rooster Teeth ever listens to the show, because if they do, awesome, great. But Monty, really, we hope you get better. Everyone here, our hearts go out to you. It's have a safe and quick recovery.
Yeah, but their community is one of the best I've ever seen.
Oh no, it is. It's awesome.
It's outstanding.
You should also probably stop drinking the big gulps. Because every time that I saw him on camera, he'd have one of those 64-ounce big gulps.
You don't know what was in it.
It could have been water.
Could have been bourbon.
It wasn't water.
Now, if he was working with any of the Achievement Hunter guys, it was probably bourbon.
Oh man.
Or Riot Punch.
Well, he was working on. He's what? He was the lead animator for
the company.
Well,
He was
the lead animator on 2 shows. So
he was doing both Ruby and Red vs. Blue at least.
I think he's not lead on RVB anymore. I think he's just focused all of his.
Just on Ruby.
All of his focus on Ruby now.
Okay,
but because he worked on
Ruby is more combat. Intensive at least. Well, I mean, for the animation,
RVB's gotten there too a little bit.
Yeah, but
not quite as much.
But the thing is, Ruby is all in-house, in-engine stuff, as opposed to RVB.
Ruby's all Flash.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
I need to learn Flash.
Yeah.
I forgot. It's not too hard to learn, but
I'm also retarded.
They also mocap.
Well, yeah,
they get lots of tools for the retarded community.
You and I will talk later. Anyway.
Real quick, but for the when we were talking about modders and stuff, apparently The Last Divinity, I'm not sure if anyone's played that or seen it, but the Last Divinity Resolution, the newest update brings cloud saves, general balance, but also a 3D Studio Max exporter for modders. That's the exact opposite of well, it's giving you ability to export that stuff out is huge.
Silver, what was it? What was the developer on the last Saints Row game? That was Silver.
Deep Silver.
Deep Silver. They seem to be releasing dev kits and mod tools specifically to modding communities. And I think that's all absolutely the best idea possible.
A lot of development companies will source coders from just the mod community.
Oh,
What's crazy, I feel like the whole Saints Row, whenever they come out with their series, their games are just a bunch of fun.
Oh yeah.
And they just kind of have fun with it. And they're like, listen, you guys want to mod? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have fun with it. Do stuff because we're a cool company and you'll buy our games because of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep.
I was so upset when THQ when THQ closed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Oh yeah. Speaking
I was just looking it up.
So yeah, speaking of companies that closed,
Sega closed their American office in San Francisco. That was Sega America.
Do we have a list of games that they specifically developed as far as that particular office?
Has there been any recently?
That may be part of the problem.
Most Sonic games.
Again, that may be part of the problem.
Have there been any recently? The Yakuza games.
Shenmue.
Yeah,
Shenmue?
I actually haven't played any of those.
Shenmue.
None of them have been American.
I've never figured out how to pronounce that correctly.
Shenmue.
Yeah, the San Francisco offices were the home to big events such as the launch of the Dreamcast game console in the 90s and the unveiling of designer Yu Suzuki's Shenmue open world game.
So basically that's their sizzle reel. That's the list of here are our major accomplishments.
Yeah. And now I'm upset because the people who own the building that they were in Zynga now. That's terrible.
Why?
Because unfortunately casual mobile gaming is popular. I don't understand why, but maybe because I have too many brain cells. I can't say that. There's a Google put out a game that I'm messing with on my phone. It's Ingress.
Oh yeah.
My
one buddy is super into that.
I just downloaded Fruit Ninja again because I'm an awful person.
Ingress is actually a really cool idea.
It is a cool concept.
In Westchester, my buddy invited me to it. I just too lazy to really play it. But the thing is, like, there's a big Google Hangouts group that's just people like talking about that, and it's like, hey, we need to take over this place, or can someone go and do that?
So they're doing like strategic eight. And
yes,
if you don't know what Ingress is, it's a mobile game that is developed by Google. It's kind of like an augmented reality, not really. What they do is that you're and I've only got a basic grasp because I've only started playing, but you do. You collect what are basically exotic particles, and then you have to hack different portals that these.
Yeah.
But you choose one of two factions: the Resistance or the Enlightened. I'm playing as the Enlightened, but the thing is, I got it. Yeah, really. I downloaded it and I realized that it's kind of one of the it's a game that kind of wants you to get out and walk around, which is cool
because it's based on your location.
Yeah, it's geolocated, a geolocation based game, which is actually kind of cool. I hacked like 2 portals literally down the street, but I was cheating because I was in the car. So there's a stop sign there, and I just got boom, boom. Okay, done. But it's kind of a really cool concept. There seems to be a pretty good community that's coming up around it, and that is just that sort of thing can bring so much life and so many miles to a game, even as simple as something as that.
Sega
game.
Yeah,
it's basically what it is. Yeah.
Exactly
to me, that's different. I wouldn't even call it a casual game because people that are into it are super into it.
Oh yeah, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, there are people that are super into like Bejeweled and
we don't talk about them. So Sega closed the office. They axed the 300 jobs because they're going to focus on mobile and PC online games. They're moving away from consoles, which is tragic.
Mobile, I'm not happy about. PC online,
it's interesting.
Could be good and they could be bad.
Well, PC can be fine because if there's enough want, then they'll bring it to a console.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make another one.
Maybe.
A lot of times that happens.
I want a Dreamcast 2. It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
Never
Dreamcast 1 had no. Dreamcast. It had not very many games.
Yes, no, that's not inaccurate.
I think I was telling
console fighting platform.
I think I was telling you
that's not inaccurate.
True.
The console itself, however, was like 10 years ahead of its time.
It was. It was one of the first CD based.
It was
one of the first working CD based games.
I thought it came out after the PS2 and the not the Xbox.
Did it?
After the PS2, definitely.
Did it? I could be entirely.
It was a PS2 generation.
Yeah, don't check.
I'm pretty sure it was a PS2 generation.
No, I think
it was definitely one of the. It was the first console that had integrated network adapter in it.
That's right.
Came out in
98.
98 in Japan, 99.
So PS2
in North America.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I'm entirely wrong on that.
PS1 had CDs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I may be looking at it as opposed to.
I think you're thinking of the Sega CD.
Well, no, the N64 was still popular, but it's still.
What
in North America?
What's that?
PlayStation 2 was released in 2000.
Yeah, but the original PlayStation. Yeah.
But I don't know if Dreamcast was CD or DVD.
CD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually
in fact
it was CD ISO based CDs.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing. They ran their operating system was Windows PE.
Yeah.
So you.
You just run ISOs off of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to Nintendo, you remember how the N64 is supposed to originally have a CD drive at the bottom of it?
Oh, that's right. It had
Do you know what happened to that?
No, what happened?
This is how this happened. The people developing the CD drive for Nintendo
Didn't understand how a CD drive worked because they never used one.
no, they had the drive. Nintendo didn't think that games were going to be going away from cartridge.
Right. Yeah, the
And
N64 was like the
and they
yeah.
scrapped the CD program for it. The people who were making the Nintendo CD went to Sony and made the PlayStation.
Oh god,
That's what it was.
That's
The
hilarious.
N64 CD was the PlayStation.
that's great. That's
kinda
hilarious.
Going back to
and awesome.
Nintendo not knowing what trends are.
Yeah.
They
Especially after space
That's
was
sigh.
getting limited
Says it all.
on cartridges.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
You had such a higher density on CDs, anyways.
Yeah.
But-
well, yeah. Well, I mean, CDs were 750 megs at the time. You could get the dual layer, and then when they switched over to DVD, the original DVDs were like 4 or 8 gigs. Now we're on Blu-ray, which is up to 50 gigs if they're
60, I think.
6.
Yep.
I think it's 60.
Is it?
It's something like you can get even more.
I think it'd make
You
80
layer-
now.
I think
Dual
thought-
layer, I
I
think.
remember
No,
reading there was one was
Dual,
like
no,
8
dual,
layers,
no, because it was
120.
it was 25 and 25 because dual layer would be 25 gigs a
I thought
piece.
it was 60.
At least
So-
Sony actually learned their mistakes with some of the older ones because that's how they beat out HD DVDs. You
Oh,
know,
Yeah.
Well, part of the
They got
thing.
porn.
They got porn. Porn
Well,
went
they
went
got
with
porn,
Blu-ray,
but
and
what they
unfortunately
did was
that's kind of how that works.
They learned their mistakes from Betamax because they left Betamax like where only they could make it. It was super proprietary, and Betamax is actually better. It was way better than VHS.
That's the first way. That's the first way to
DVD
kill
was
something.
really proprietary.
Right. Well, and the thing is, I actually had a Betamax like back in the day. My dad had one, and we used it all the time
Oh,
to tape things off TV.
we have
blah,
a
blah.
friend who still has a laser disc player. Not only that, still
Boy.
has laser discs for it, like old anime and
He's
stuff.
muted right now.
Yeah, he is.
Nice. But it was one of those things where, with Betamax being the way it was, and they realized their mistake there, they kind of, with Blu-ray, they let everyone have
They open
access
sourced
to
it, yeah.
They open sourced it. And everyone was able to make it. And as soon as I read about that, I was like, oh, I know it's going to win.
Sony's very good at
know
learning.
it's going to win.
Yeah, Sony's very good at learning from their mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the difference between the PS3 and the PS4 launch,
Massively different.
and the consoles in general.
Massively.
Oh yeah.
They
That was the one thing that was like $600 US, and
Well,
then
they also
no one
said-
bought it.
They also
Oh,
stepped away
yeah.
from the because the PS3 was like pretty much all proprietary technology.
yeah, that's
They
true.
had that ridiculous processor core in there where like a 1 in 8 was a failure or something like
Yeah.
that. Or
Yeah.
it was like
something like
one in 8 processors was a success or something like that.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing though. They
Still
were
didn't
they
have red
were
rings.
Microsoft came off of the 360 like Sony came off of the PS2,
yeah.
and then they launched the One, which was very comparable to the PS3 launch. So I think the next Microsoft system will probably be pretty sweet.
Assuming that they
And I
actually.
think Sony's just going to continue to learn from their mistakes and still be better.
It
But
depends. I feel like Microsoft is kind of going to swing more towards the PC market. Like, have you seen the
Microsoft's,
Microsoft
I think,
Hollow?
swinging more
You seen
towards.
Microsoft Hollow.
Yeah.
That looks unbelievable.
I think Microsoft's going to swing more towards the home entertainment in general,
Yeah.
not necessarily the PC market.
I mean, it's one of the good
At least
news,
in terms of the concept.
one of the good news
Xbox.
they're doing is they're actually taking the online play from the Xbox One and PC community and they're merging them, which is huge.
Yes.
That's actually really
Yeah,
smart.
with the
That's
Windows
the
10.
first smart thing they've done in forever.
But the
Um,
big dumb thing that they did with the One was they still kept the parity clause in their indie development scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where
Oh,
you
they
had
screwed
that-
indie developers
They
completely.
screwed an entire production segment from their console.
That was one of the places where Sony really strived and was smart.
And like Sony definitely with the Sony network, with
Sony's indie
development,
games are amazing.
with the indie development, they went a lot very much like the Steam route, where like
Yep.
make a game,
Yeah.
publish it on our servers.
All right.
Again, we're getting back into the more you open up, the ability for anyone to. I mean, at least put a game on and have it reviewed
That's
and
how
go.
you get content.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the big thing between Sony and Microsoft with this with the current gen systems is
Yeah.
that Sony opened it up to more people, and so more people were willing to step on board, whereas Microsoft was more worried about like the whole exclusivity game.
Yeah. Because even now, Microsoft's got 2 titles that people give a shit about. One of them I don't. It's Halo and Gears. Gears isn't even. Gears isn't being developed.
And Halo just has the anniversary one. The new Halo
5 comes out like next year.
Yeah.
Well, that's not enough to make. Well, Halo will be enough to make me buy a console.
The new Halo is it's
eventually.
Technically, it's 2015, so this year. But it's they're normally they go between September and November.
But
as far as
November
releases, yeah.
But we'll see at E3.
Right.
But that's all they have. And who made Gears? I don't even
Gears
remember. It was Epic.
Yeah. Epic,
Epic's
right?
not making it because they bought the IP from Epic, so now it's another Microsoft in-house studio.
And
they also have Remedy. Remedy, Alan Wake was one of my favorite games last gen.
I never played on. I think I actually have it, but I have it on Steam, but
Play it.
It's another one of those games that slipped under the radar.
It did,
yeah,
and it got no credit for how good it was.
Yeah, and like the few reviews out there gave it glowing praise.
Oh, it's amazing.
But, like, you had to search. You had to go to Google's second page.
I've never liked survival horror games. That was fantastic.
See, I always did. I mean, I liked any of the good ones. Like I liked Resident Evil 4.
Because
I liked Dead Space.
Dead Space, yeah, the original Dead Space. The problem I had with the original Dead Space, to an extent, the pacing was so bad.
It was, but sometimes bad pacing like that catches you off guard. Like where survival horror and stuff like that, there's not many other things where I can actually feel something. Do you know what I mean? Like there are very few games where I'm actually scared.
Yeah.
Or I actually feel
that's something.
Came out.
Yeah.
That's something Dead Space had to address in their second one. They actually had to look at it and go, we went out to do a survival horror game on the first one, and it worked. But I can't play it for more than 20, 30 minutes because I'm so on edge the whole time. I can't relax. The second one, that's
the point of the genre.
PT did that for me. Did anyone play that?
No.
Yes.
I sat in the no. I sat. Lucci was playing. I sat in the room watching it. I couldn't. I had to get up and walk out of the room a couple times.
For Dead Space?
No, for PT.
Yeah.
PT, I couldn't. I couldn't.
The puzzle solving was cool, but it just that whole artificial suspense thing. I'm I don't care. It was. I also find the suspense horror genre to be just boring in general because
for me,
so little happens. It's all about the build up, and then the payoff is never really quite worth it.
Yeah, the suspense you built is nice, but how about something else?
For that, I feel like for a lot of those types of games, you need to be in the right environment. Like for me, the only way to actually feel something like that while playing
dark room
is to be playing in a dark room with noise canceling headphones.
Yeah,
because then you feel like you're there. And even better, I play. My brother has an Oculus Rift.
Does he?
The Samsung one, the VR, where you put your Note 4 in there, which is actually higher resolution. But there was a survival horror game where he has a controller hooked up, and I have headphones and the visor
Mansion.
Yeah, the gear.
I think so.
I've seen videos
and I'm walking around.
No.
And it's a little freaky. The graphics aren't even that good, but it's kind of freaky and creepy. And then all of a sudden, I turn around and there's a fucking death materializes behind me. And I jumped 3 feet in the air.
It's the creepy tiny Japanese girls and everything.
Oh, from Ringu?
Yes.
Okay.
There's stuff like that. And
she'll you get closer to her and she's doing that quick motion face thing. And then you get closer to her and then she disappears and it's in your face.
The thing that was really popular in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Didn't Alien Isolation make it over to the Oculus?
Oh God, I hope so.
I think it did.
They're saying
that was good, but 10 hours too long.
There's a lot of stuff coming out from Oculus, like Lucky directly saying that there should be. They're getting close enough that there may be a release this year, like an actual consumer release this year, pricing somewhere between the $200 to $400 range. Yeah. I'm telling you that the minute that comes out, I don't care how many street corners I have to work through for the nickels that I need. The launch day. I'm going to have that pre-order.
What's great is you'll actually be able to work the street corners and see very serene.
I can play Ingress while I'm doing it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, and what's so cool about that? It really is a game changer. I think it's not one of those things. I feel like a lot of people think it's kind of like a gimmick. But after trying it, it changes your mind.
I'd really be interested to come down and actually physically try it out. I really would. He must have a dev kit then. Which dev kits does he have?
No, he's got the Gear VR.
Oh, he's got the Gear VR. Okay, that's right.
Basically, it is like a dev kit, but you use your phone. It is actually higher resolution than the DK2.
Okay.
Because it's got a 4K resolution, so you got 2K in each
Right,
eye.
right. That's the thing, and that's one thing that they were trying to work towards. Is right now
They're saying they need 4K in each eye.
yeah, the dev kit 2 they're running
I
off of right
think.
now is 1080p, and they want to get higher. They want to get up to that 4K. I'm worried about that pricing it out too much, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to come down eventually, but
Well, the thing is, as the technology progresses, because most of the even back to DevCat 1, they were using mobile device screens.
Yeah.
Is really what they were using. But then they had supply issues because what would happen is the companies that are creating the screens would then move away to something else, and they'd have to
Right.
readapt to the hardware. So I mean, I can exactly.
one of the things that people are thinking about is because of like Morpheus coming out,
Yeah.
and like everybody making their own kind of thing.
Someone has brought that up to me that because Morpheus is coming out, they want to try and compete with that.
Yeah.
So they may up their timetable to try and get a similar release date.
But also because like there's
EJ,
ways
look
to
up and see if
hack
there's a
your
release
phone.
date for Morpheus.
All right.
So-
Because if that, I'm willing to put money down right
I don't
now.
remember if it was that at CES this year?
I don't
Well,
remember.
because there are ways to hack
I
your
know
phone in order to
I know
play-
Rift was. I know Oculus
oh,
was.
they're everywhere.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
ways to hack your phone in order to play PS4 from your phone.
Really?
Like it, yeah.
Okay.
I could log into my PS4 right now
Oh, really?
via Wi-Fi, and it's awesome. But because of that, I feel like there are going to easily be ways to hack your Gear VR and play stuff that's meant for Morpheus using that. And Gear VR is not that expensive as long as you have.
What is the price point on the Gear VR?
Gear
haven't
VR, I
checked
think
into
was
that.
like maybe $200.
'Cause here's the thing.
Maybe a little less. But
What-
as long as
what
you have
I want-
a Note 4.
There are two
Good.
games specifically I want a Rift for, and that's Elite Dangerous, which I just picked up.
Mhm.
I was telling them earlier there were two screens sitting on this desk that I just picked up to set up a 3-screen wraparound because I've got the X52 SciTech.
Elite Dangerous is explained to the viewers.
Elite Dangerous is a space combat sim, and it is
But with the Oculus, it's so cool.
it is amazingly beautiful. But it's an entirely different game with the Oculus because I've seen gameplay footage of it. I'm like I want that inside my eyeballs right now.
With the Oculus, you actually feel like the pilot.
Well,
now.
right, because
yeah.
the thing is, all of the switches and stuff, and all of the different
All
things that are
the
normally-
menus are head tilt
so
related.
You turn your head and you see
Yeah.
you see that stuff, and it's like you're actually sitting in a cockpit, which is completely different than what you get in any other.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Actually, I've got a couple of projectors. I've been half tempted to set up a couple of screens and
That'd
set
be
up a
awesome.
full size
That'd be
cockpit,
pretty awesome.
but I just don't have the space for
Right.
it. But yeah, I've seen a couple of gameplay videos like that,
You
and I'm
need
like,
an Elite Dangerous room.
I need an Elite Dangerous room. Yeah, that's kind of really what would
An
happen.
Elite Danger room.
Yeah.
Stop.
Along the same lines though, the Microsoft Holo looks.
Oh,
that
that
looks
looks
amazing.
if that's not all just
I will buy
absolute
that.
lies,
I feel like it's the way that their technology has been going with Kinect and all that stuff. I feel like they could do it, and
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be the next big jump. And
As
it's
long
as
going
they
to be
don't-
huge.
As long as they don't like backburner it like they did with like the light or whatever what that was.
Well, I think the light was cool, but I'm like, I'm not going to get that.
And-
That's
and
silly.
the
It
problem-
was cool. It wasn't as
cool.
functional as this
The
is.
problem with the light was that it didn't. Most of the stuff it didn't actually expand it. It just kind of increased the actual size of it.
Yeah.
It didn't like add any more to it, or they added like background stuff.
The release date for the Morpheus sometime this year, maybe.
Maybe.
Here's the thing: if they had an actual release date,
Blizzard release date standard.
I'm willing to
When it's done.
I'm willing to put down money that the date that whatever date the Morpheus gets announced for. Let's say hypothetically it's mid September, whatever this year. I'm willing to bet a week later you're going to get a similar release date from Oculus, straight out. I'll put money on the table on that.
Yeah,
I would believe that.
both. I'm looking forward to both.
But what's cool about Holo is I feel like it's a game changer in that it's like, say you didn't even have a screen.
Well,
in your
the thing
house.
with the
Yeah.
Holo is it's not even
I mean, it
game
doesn't.
specific.
No,
it's
It's not.
designed.
It's a PC interface.
Yeah, it's Google Glass plus plus plus.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
looks less douchey than Google Glass, which is amazing.
Yeah, which
And
is
apparently Google
yeah.
Glass got discontinued.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Well, even doing stuff for like 3D design and CAD.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you could have a giant like cool like you would
Yeah.
look. It would
You
be
could have the
awesome to
Tony
watch.
Stark
Yeah, you
I-
it's Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I-
Iron
awesome
Man
to
1.
watch.
I don't think any of
people.
the three you know this, but my wife and I are both artists really by trade. I used to work specifically in sculpture.
Cool.
So moving and because I work in IT and gaming and stuff, the digital realm is something I've kind of struggled to break into. But I me working on something physically, like physically altering it, is just easier for me in a lot of ways. Moving something into a field like that, like the hollow, is just like a dream.
I'm pretty sure you can thank Yamaha for that and Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, exactly.
My parents, it was so funny. My parents saw Lady Gaga, and opening up for her was Hatsune Miku. And I was like, shit, I would have loved to see that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, wow. Well, with that, we're out of time. We could probably keep going on about this, and I'm sure we will at some point. But for this particular show, we're at the end.
Hopefully this one will get released.
Hopefully there won't be any more tech issues. But until next week, I've been Sean.
I'm EJ.
Christopher.
Lynch.
Thanks for listening, and keep gaming.